Welcome to the ripple effect of love for dads and families. Episode 61 already. Just do it and enjoy life a little bit more. Let's see what we can do today to support you on your journey towards being a dad who wants to leave a legacy of love to your family with your family. So sometimes we need to be willing to take responsibility for looking at ourselves first. Mm, that can be hard. I'm still working on that one actually. And every time I dare to look in, there's this part of me that has some guilt, that has, so many different emotions that I need to have lots of self compassion. And I also need to remember that it doesn't define all of who I am. It is who I was at one point in my life. So, looking at our children or spouses with merciful eyes, truthful eyes, right? Gentle eyes is important to see beyond the behavior right to the core. If you have someone rolling their eyes at you, there is something else behind there that they are just not sharing with you. And I find it's kind of our response. Well, I take it upon myself as it's my responsibility because love and inner intuition is what will guide us. This is what this whole episode is about. I'm Christine Bernard, stress management coach, and much more. Today, I want to know if you're really listening to your experiences and asking yourself, what is my lesson in this experience? Of course, a child who rolls their eyes, there's something else behind that. There's a frustration, there's, something behind there. But what is that? Are you able to just snap, tap, relax the shoulders, and zap out the first reaction that is, don't you dare roll your eyes at me again, right? Your child is communicating with you in a special way. It may not be the way that we like, and that's for sure. And I totally, totally agree with you. However, if you can look beyond rolling the eyes and ask yourself the question, what happened today? What is it that is creating my teen to, what is creating my teen, that reaction in my teen? Okay, got it. So I got lots of things happening today, and I'm self-regulating for myself right now so that my brain stays focused, which is okay. So sometimes, what if your um, child comes home and they've lost a friend at school, or they had an argument with a friend and people stomped off and they've lost a friend or feel they lost a friend, but they feel ashamed to share it with you because maybe they have some responsibility to play in there. Maybe they did something and they don't want you to know because they know you will not be proud of them. So that's a grieving process for them. They need to grieve. And everybody grieves in different ways. We all do. Some of us get angry. Some of us cry. Some of us go into overwhelm. Some of us go into work, 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 get it all done, and just it's kind of a disconnection to the reality of the emotions because you don't want to feel those emotions of grief and sadness, of course, lots of sadness usually. So, How do we shift that? How do we help our child shift whatever it is that happened once you've listened attentively while you were self regulating, right? While you're doing the ABCs of snap, tap, and zap onto the spiraling train or the hot air balloon. So, what is it that you can do? Is you can do the ABCs of snap, tap, zap. Release that, let it go. I've had a lot of self regulating to do today. So, this is what I'm doing with you as well. Lots of I'm debating whether I want to talk about it or not. So this morning my mom had to go to the hospital and she's okay, but we need answers. So we are waiting. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm hopping in the car and joining my mom and dad there to see here in the province of Quebec. And I don't know if I'll let it, the waiting is so long, so long. You don't go in and in an hour or two later, you have an answer. You go in, you can spend the day there, 8 hours, 10 hours before you get results, depending on what your priority code is and how many people come into the hospital for care. So they've already been there for about 3 or 4 hours. So I'm going to bring them some food. And let's get back to my topic grieving, right? There's a grieving process that happens because there's always fears behind the situation. In this example, there's the fear that, oh, what if it gets worse? What if, they can't figure out what the problem is? So there's a fear behind that. And we need to grieve that. And when we lose someone in our lives, there's a lot of grieving that happens. So it's important to release that and just let it go. Give yourself that permission to let go, to tap, calm the amygdala down, calm your fear mode down, relax the shoulders, and exhale that onto the spiraling train so that it can be all burned up. So that then, as you calm down and you keep self-regulating, your inner wisdom will show up. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. If it was really bad, she would have went through right away. They would be doing tests and okay. So it's all being able to take it into perspective, instead of going into worrying about things. And of course, if your daughter or son lost a friend at school today, they need some love, right? They don't need to be grounded because they rolled their eyes. I know this can be counterintuitive, but it can go against the way we were raised, and that's okay. We are allowed to do things differently. Dads and families that are following me, it's because you want to lead from your heart. You don't want to lead from your head, from everything you've been taught that didn't work for you. And remember, I always have this thought that pops up. Some people like a lot of discipline, and others don't function with a lot of discipline. So, how do you find that happy medium? Can you have different rules for different kids in the house? Something to be talked about, to have a conversation about, and see how everyone can support everyone so that everyone feels some happiness in their heart again, so that everyone can feel some joy again. Because there are times in our lives where our household is chaotic and there's a lot of drama going around. And how do we pause all that so that we can come out ahead? And there's always going to be chaos around us or close to us in our lives, whether it's on the political front or whether it's in the community, whether it's in our relatives or whether it's in our family. Things happen every day. And to be able to release the the maybe even the shame behind feeling joyful because everybody else is angry about a situation is okay. So it's about taking one mini baby step, just one small step. For me, it's self-regulating. It starts there. Or it's sitting out in nature, looking at the lake and just breathing in. What is it that lights you up and that brings your family closer? Plan this best you can. Yes, things will happen and it may not go exactly the way that you want. And it's okay. It is okay. So it's about discovering those little moments of joy to create some bigger memories, some great memories. So when they were taking, for example, when they were taking my mom down the steps, okay, she was laughing, so I took a picture because she was in the chair that they have, their special chair, bringing her down. And I sent that with the message that I sent to my siblings and my children. And someone said, "Oh, she looks really happy." Yes, I sent you the picture so you wouldn't worry so much. Even though there's some issues, it's not all bad. There is some good. And we can look back on that picture and laugh about it maybe. Or she's just laughing. Her cheeks are rosy and she's looking great. So it's okay to acknowledge that um, even though it's kind of a serious enough situation, there's those little mini moments in it that are important. And holding on to those mini moments, breathe those into your heart. I'd given a challenge for the weekend. I don't know if anybody took that challenge on. What is it that brings you joy? How can you bring that in, even if you're grieving, right? So there are moments you don't need to grieve 24/7. It's okay. I still remember when my cousin passed away a couple years ago, and I was on Vancouver Island, and her son said, "Let's go make a bonfire at my place, invite everybody, order pizza and drinks." People came, they cried, they laughed. It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful way of celebrating somebody's passing, in my opinion. I've never seen anything like it. And I just thought it was so beautiful because home alone is hard, but to have everybody come in and share their grief, share those joyful moments that they had with my cousin. So, and embracing the rest. Tomorrow we have a very special guest. His name is Tony Lynch, and he has a grief podcast. He's known around the world, and he will be telling us a little bit about his story, because in 30 minutes we can't, say everything that he's got to say. But anyway, So, if you want to be part of the private group, the ripple effect of love for dads and families, because you believe in leading your family with love first, here's my QR code. Book a call and we'll talk and see if you're a good fit. So I want you to take great care of yourself. And I'm going to go and take care of my parents. So wishing you all the best. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. And remember